Hey, Jeffrey Pepper Rogers back with Guitar Sessions and playing Bob Dylan's Tomorrow Is a Long Time. It's a song I've loved for a long time. First heard on the Greatest Hits Volume 2 album. That was a live recording from '63. There's some great covers of this as well. A particular favorite of mine is one by Nickel Creek. There are other Dylan versions of this song as well. There's one on the Whitmark demos, recording from '62. It's really different key, much more bluesy kind of sound, but that Greatest Hits Volume 2 one is the one that I kind of latched onto. So I want to share with you how to play it. And I'm going to do a version that is close to Dylan's version, but I have added a few different things, changed up a few voicings, also added, most notably, a little instrumental break that I played a little piece of at the top. So let's dig in. So this is a really simple song, 3 chords, using G shapes. I got a capo here at the 2nd fret. The Greatest Hits Volume 2 version by Dylan is capo 3. I got it down at capo 2, just kind of sits nice. It's low in my range, lower than I would usually sing, but I like it for this song. So first let's just talk about the shapes. So in Dylan's version, you got a G, which not really any reason to fret the 5th string, so I'm just leaning my ring finger here against it and just playing around that string. And even the 1st string, you don't necessarily need to hold that down. I'm not really playing it, but there's the G. And then we have a C over G. So if you just keep in that shape, but add in these fingers from a C shape on the 2nd and 4th string, you get a C over G, or a C with a G bass note. And then he uses a D over F sharp. So that bass note here on the 2nd fret on the 6th string above the capo I'm talking about might be a shape that you might use with thumb fretting, but I don't really do that, so I'll play it like this for a D over F sharp. He uses a little bit of this D7 over F sharp, so that's just changing the note on the 2nd string from here down to here to get that 7th in there. So those are the shapes that Dylan was using. So in my version here, same G, same C over G, and I'm also using that D7 over F sharp. Then a couple of other things that I'm throwing in. One is a C over E. So just like a regular C shape, you can fret the 5th string if you want, but you don't have to. But playing the open 6th string as the bass note underneath it. And that's a shape that doesn't get used a whole lot by guitarists, but can really sound nice in the right context. So that's a C over E. It's just an inversion of a C chord. And then if I go from there to a D7 over F sharp and up to G, you can hear I got a nice bass line that's going. So I build a lot of my arrangement around that move. And then at the very end of the chorus, I go to a straight up C chord with an alternating bass. So I'm moving my ring finger back and forth between the 5th and the 6th string, and then just sliding that up to a D. But I've got that open 3rd string in there, so that makes it a D add 4, but also with the alternating bass between 5th string, 6th string. And that to me just adds a really nice change up at the end of the chorus, so you'll see that when we get to it in a little bit. Well, this song uses alternating bass finger picking, so every beat I got my thumb going between 2 strings on the different chords, just steady the whole time. And One good way with songs like that have a steady thumb part is just to practice the thumb by itself and then add in the fingers. So let's talk about the intro first. So got a measure of just the bass, just going between 6th string, 4th string. But then I'm going to add in, go to this C over G. So chord-wise, this little pattern, the repeating part of it is going to be on G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and back to the G again. And that's going to be our repeating pattern. So if you just look at the bass side of that, be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm just going to add some finger picking on top of it to create this little pattern. So here's the intro as I have it tabbed out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, just going between that G and the C over G. And in Dylan's version, he's toggling back and forth quite a bit between the G and the C over G. So I kind of simplify that a little bit more and use the C over G a little bit more sparingly than he does. So now in the verse, I'm going to start off using those same patterns. If today was not an endless highway. So that's on the G. Was not an endless highway. So it's G, C, C over G, that is. So it starts off like that, just adding in that C over G, just like in the intro. And then when it comes to tomorrow wasn't such a long time, that's where I'm switching to this C over E, D7 over F sharp, G. And I keep repeating that. So when I'm on the C over E, my bass is going between 6 and 4. And also on the D7 over F sharp. So my bass throughout that pattern stays going between 6 and 4 the whole time. Now let me add in the fingers. Often I'm doing a little hammer-on the 2nd string when I go to that C over E. So I'm just repeating that. C over E, D7 over F sharp, G, until the very end of it. Then I'd lie. And then I'm on that C, regular C, in my bed. 1 second. what I like about that is that we just haven't gone to a real C chord, and that's a different voicing of D too. So on the sort of climactic line of the verse, and I'd lie in my bed once again. I just like kind of highlighting those lines by going to a different voicing there. I feel like it makes that kind of pop a little bit more, that I find really satisfying. So the only other little piece here is the instrumental. And there I'm really using just the exact same shapes, just changing a few notes on top in order to sort of fill out the melody. But the picking pattern and the shapes mostly the same. Let me just run through that slowly, and then I'm going to do the whole song for you. So this is going into the instrumental. 1, 2, 3, 4. Real simple, just playing the melody, but real satisfying. And I feel like the song needs just that little breather in the middle, little instrumental break. And then that leads into the third verse, and as often sounds so good in songs, I like to bring it way down, coming out of the instrumental. There's beauty in that silver singing river. There's beauty in that sunrise in the sky. Really let it breathe. Just so there, I'm picking the 6th string along with 4, 3, 2, all at the same time. So just giving a break from the picking pattern and just letting the chords ring, and that really kind of pulls the listener in close when you do that. And then start up the picking pattern again to close out the verse and the rest of the song. So those are all the key ingredients here. You can check out the notation for the full details, the tab and the chart. But let me give this whole song a whirl now. If today was not an endless highway, if tonight was not a crooked trail, if tomorrow wasn't such a long time, then lonesome would mean nothing to you at all. Yes, and only if my own true love was waiting, if I could hear her heart softly pounding. Yes, and only if she was lying by me, then I'd lie in my bed once again. I can't see my reflection in the water. I can't speak the sound, show no pain. I can't hear the echo of my footsteps, or remember the sound of my own name. Yes, and only if my own true love was waiting, if I could hear her heart softly pounding. Yes, and only if she was lying by me, then I'd lie in my bed once again. beauty in that silver singing river. There's beauty in that sunrise in the sky. But none of these, nothing else can touch the beauty that I remember in my true love's eyes. Yes, and only if my own true love was waiting, if I could hear her heart softly pounding. Yes, and only if she was lying by me, then I'd lie in my bed once again.